Pania, the little blue penguin, was tired. She had lost the rest of the group she was with, and she darted off through the tangle of seaweed to see what was hiding in the sea cave. She was only gone a minute, but when she turned back, they had vanished. Pania was very worried. She knew it would be several more hours before her family and friends returned this way on their way home to their nests, and she was oh so tired. Home for Pania was the blue penguin colony in Oamaru, New Zealand, and it was to there that Pania's family returned every evening at dusk. Pania had only been going to sea with her mom and dad for a few days and always heeded her parents' warning to stay close. Until now, that is. Not all of the penguins lived at the colony. Some of the more independent families lived under the old buildings spread around the harbor. Through the water, Pania could see some sort of solid object. With the last of her energy, she swam to the surface of the sea and pulled herself onto a passing iceberg, and was overjoyed to see land not too far away. On the shore at Friendly Bay, canine companions Princess Leia and Buggy Duggy were having fun chasing the seagulls and digging holes in the wet sand and shaking themselves off all over Katie, the fox terrier, who was their caregiver for the day. Princess Leia was a long-haired and very beautiful mini dachshund from New Hampshire in the United States, who had been named after the famous Princess Leia in Star Wars, and was staying with Buggy Duggy, the Chihuahua, and his family while her humans were cruising to the Antarctic to see the whales and icebergs. The two dogs stopped what they were doing and looked around as they both heard a strange noise coming from an iceberg that was floating about a mile out on the bay. They could see a strange small blue shape on the white face, and the noise seemed to be coming from there. Princess Leia looked at Dougie and said, "That sounds like someone in trouble." "Yes, it does," Dougie replied, and looked around but could only see Katie was asleep in the shade under a big rock, and some people were swimming further down the bay. "The noise is coming from out there," said Leia, pointing to the passing iceberg with her short dachshund leg. "I know that," said Dougie, who was a Chihuahua with an attitude and didn't like some Yankee girl telling him stuff he already did. "Question is, Your Majesty, what are we going to do about it, eh?" "I'm going to find out what's wrong. That's what I'm going to do," said Princess Leia. "Are you coming short stuff or just sit there and look silly all day?" From the iceberg, Pania could see the dogs on the beach and started to call out to them, not realizing that in normal situations, dogs and penguins did not get on well together. Within a couple of minutes, both dogs were in the water, swimming towards her. It took a little while for the dogs to reach the iceberg. When they pulled themselves onto the ice, they looked at the creature there in amazement. Buggy Duggie's bug eyes almost popping out of his little head. "What are you?" he asked the little blue-feathered bird-like animal sitting on the ice in front of him. "I am Pania, a little blue penguin, or fairy penguin, and I live at the Oamaru Blue Penguin Colony with my family. But I am lost and tired, and I want my mommy and daddy," sobbed Pania, her fairy tears making puddles on the ice. "What are you?" asked Pania. "I have never seen a creature like you before either." "My humans call me Superhero," said Dougie, "and I am named after a movie star," said Princess Leia, shaking her still wet coat all over them. "Ah, come on, Pania, don't cry. In a while you are small enough to be a fairy too, I guess," said Princess Leia. "We won't hurt you, and we can help you get home. I know where the colony is, as my humans were there earlier today before they left for their vacation." "What's a vacation?" asked Dougie. "It's what humans do when they don't have to go to work," said Leia. "Have you never had a vacation, Dougie?" Leia asked in a surprised voice. "Yeah, lots," said Dougie. "But here we call them holidays." So they all laughed. "Okay, Pania," said Dougie, "here's what we will do to get you home. Princess, you are a bit bigger than me, and though I hate to admit it, that makes you the strongest of us all. Do you think you can carry Pania on your back and swim her to the shore? If we go now, the waves will help us as the tide is going in." "Sure, I can do that," Leia replied. "Climb on, Pania, and we will get you home before you can say Uncle Sam." Leia didn't ask who Uncle Sam was. She just climbed on Leia's back and gripped tight to her coat. The dogs slipped back into the water and started swimming for the shore. Pania wondering who this Uncle Sam person was. 45 minutes later, they reached land near the old stone breakwater, which had been badly damaged in last winter's storms. Waiting on land for them was a photographer who had seen the unlikely-looking trio in the water and worried that the dogs might be going to hurt the penguin, and had called for help on his cell phone. Joined by the colony wardens and many onlookers, including the camera lady from the local TV station, there was quite a crowd gathered by the time they all reached land. As they waded out of the water, Dougie and Leah heard Katie calling them, and realizing they could be in trouble for going in the water, they quickly said goodbye to Pania and ran off. Up the beach to Katie to explain where they had been. Katie was cross that they had put themselves in danger, but also thrilled that they had done such a wonderful thing and took them home to get warm and dry. Within a very short time, Pania was safely back in the colony, being checked by the local vet and waiting for her family to return. Back home, Princess Leah and Dougie were tucking into some real doggy treats and telling the reporters that it was no big deal, that they quite enjoyed their swim, even if the water had been cold. Photos and the story of their heroic rescue were sent all over the world. Dougie and Leah never saw Pania again. Princess Leah went home to America a few weeks later. Dougie often returned to the beach in the hope that one day he might see Pania, but the only sea creatures he saw were the huge seals and sea lions that blazed on the rocks around the harbor, and the gulls that she would run after and play chase with up and down the sand.